Hello and thanks for watching. My name's Jordan and I'm part of the support team here at Qunote. Today, I'll be demonstrating some of the commonly used functions within Qunote that makes our platform so popular among private practice clinicians. I'll be showing you how to view and add your client information, how to record notes and billable time against each client, how to use Qunote's built-in email to Filenote function, uploading important client-related documents to each client's file, how to add client and non-client related contacts, and concluding with the invoicing process. But first, let's start with a look around the dashboard. In the system header, you'll see a few icons. The main menu, indicated by the hamburger icon, is for navigating the main sections of the system. The admin menu, shown by the cogwheel, allows you to customize your system settings and manage users. The clock icon allows you to generate a complete activity report which breaks down all chargeable and non-chargeable time, as well as travel, mileage and expenses that you've recorded in Filenotes during a specified period. The envelope icon grants you access to your Qunote email inbox. You can enter a client's name in the search bar here to quickly navigate to their file. And clicking on the Qunote logo will return you to the dashboard page. If we scroll down the dashboard, we can see Your Clients, which displays a list of clients assigned specifically to you. Clicking on a client's name will take you directly to their file. The team management area provides an overview of any team members that you supervise and the clients assigned to them. The tasks section shows your most urgent, overdue and upcoming tasks. And below, we can see your calendar that handily shows all of your tasks and events. Just click on a day to show the full details of your schedule. These are all just snippets of overarching areas within Qunote. So, let's take a look at our full list of clients. Here we can see our full list of detailed client profiles. Firstly, we can see our clients categorized into various groups. When adding a client to the system, you'll assign them to one of your created client groups. The number of client groups that you set up and the way in which you structure these is completely up to you. At a glance, you'll see the client's name, a reference number, the name of the lead user assigned to the client, and a color-coded priority assigned to the client when adding them to your account. Priorities can be added or customized via the admin menu. Clicking the Hide button will collapse a group to make for a more concise list, and sorting options allow you to change the order in which the clients appear in their groups. You can also search for a specific client using the search bar on the right-hand side. So let's take a look at Eloise Weston's summary page by simply clicking the Summary button. Here we can see Eloise's key information: their personal details, contact details, the staff assigned to the client, and their case information. At the bottom of the page, we can see a general notes box that can be used for internal communication. At the top of the page, you have the facility to add keynotes to a client's file. Enter a message and assign a priority to the keynote, and this will add a coloured banner at the top of the client summary page until it's deleted. Let's take a look at where this information is stored by clicking the green Edit Client button. Here we can see all the information that was displayed on the previous page. In the Personal Information section, you can enter the client's personal details and upload a photo of them too. You can create custom fields to record other information about the client, and add more custom fields by clicking the Add button. Here you can add the client's contact details, including multiple addresses, email address and telephone numbers. Add an extra set of contact details by clicking the Add button, and attach a custom label for each set of contact info. The Case Details area contains information relating directly to your client's case. like the funder, condition, incident date, and reference numbers. You can also indicate the staff assigned to the client, set the client group, and assign the client to their own individual rate. To add a new client, simply head back to the client's page and click the green Add Client button on the right-hand side. Work through the page procedurally from top to bottom and hit the Save button once completed. Just remember to fill in any mandatory fields marked by a red asterisk. Now, let's take a look at how to record file notes for Eloise Weston. The File Notes section contains all of your clinical notes and time entries. Every time there's an intervention or activity relating to a client, you record the details as a file note, capturing the associated time, travel time, and expenses in the process. Clicking on a file note will expand the note to show the full details, including the clinical note, duration, and additional information. You can filter notes shown on the page by clicking the Filter and Export button here. Just enter the parameters to produce a list of file notes to your choosing. Clicking the green Add File Note button will open up the file note form. The first thing we can see are fields for the client, date, time, and title. The client populates the name of the client's file you're currently working on. The date and time fields are used to specify the time of the activity that took place, and the title should be a brief description of the activity. The details box is where you add your full clinical note. There's no character limit. You can apply basic formatting to the text, and dragging the bottom right-hand corner of the text box will increase its size. You can enter the time spent on the activity in the duration fields. Qunote will calculate the charges to the client based on the time entered here. We can also see the 3 drop-down boxes for contact, subject, and person. These are used to categorize the activity by type, topic, and the person to which the activity relates to. These are entirely customizable from the admin area. If you select a contact type that involves travel, like a visit, additional boxes will appear where you can record the travel destination, travel time, and mileage. Qunote will calculate the travel charges based on these values. You can decide whether the file note is going to be chargeable. Assigning a file note as privileged marks the contents of the file note as confidential. You can quickly exclude any notes marked as privileged from your file note exports. You can record and charge for time spent writing clinical notes in the File Note Writing Time section. Select the rate that the client should be charged at, either on a fixed fee or hourly rate, and select a relevant service that the recorded activity relates to. If you're creating file notes on behalf of another user, you can select who performed the activity under the author field. You're able to add expenses to a file note by clicking the Add Expense Disbursement button. Simply enter the amount and the description of the expense, and mark it as chargeable and to indicate that you have a receipt. Upload any appropriate documents to a file note and it will be displayed in the Related Documents section in the note details, as well as uploading it automatically to the client's file. Lastly, you can attach a follow-up task to a file note. Just enter the relevant information for the task, like the person assigned, date, and time. When the file note is saved, the task will appear in the Related Tasks section of the note, as well as the Assigned Users Calendar and Tasks section. Once the Save button is hit, you'll see the file note appear at the top of the file notes list. You can edit or delete a file note by clicking the Actions button. Now that we've uploaded a document to a file note, let's see where all key documentation relating to the client is stored and how to upload more documents via the Documents section in the grey bar. Here we can see all the documents that have been stored against this client, including the report we uploaded to the Filenote earlier. View full details of the document by clicking the name, or download it by clicking the green download icon. You can search for a document by using the filter and export button. You can search documents by title, date, category, and user. To export all documentation for a particular period, enter the date period that you want to export and click the Export to Zip button. To upload a new document, click the green Add Document button. Specify the title, date, and document category. Much like folders, you can create different document categories to help organize your files. Enter a short description and details of the author. To upload the file itself, click the Upload File button and select the relevant file. Then simply click the Save button. Here we can see our newly uploaded file in the client's list of documents. You can edit or delete any documents by clicking the Action button in the rightmost column. Now let's take a look around Qunote's Email to Filenote facility, which allows you to send client-related emails directly into the system and then quickly save these to the relevant client files. It's accessed by clicking the mail icon in the system header. Your system administrator will set up your Qunote email address. All you need to do is send an email to your newly created email address and it will appear here in your inbox. To save an email to a client's file, either click the Transfer to Filenote button on the right-hand side or the green button at the bottom of the window. In the Transfer to Filenote form, select the client that the email relates to. The date and time fields will be pre-populated based on the date and time that the email was received into the system, and the title and details fields will be pre-populated with the subject and content of the email, but you can edit these should you wish. Next, just fill in the rest of the details, like the duration, chargeable status, and subject category. If the email includes attachments, these will be shown in a section at the bottom of the Transfer to Filenote form. If you want to transfer an attachment to the client's file, choose the document category from the Select Category drop-down. If the email includes an attachment that you don't want to transfer to a client's file, click the red X to remove it from the list. Once you've completed the form, click the green Save as Filenote button. Now, if we head back to the client's Filenote section, we can see our email saved as a Filenote. Another feature of Qunote is an individual address book of clinical, professional, and personal contacts for each client, which we can view by clicking the Contact section of a client's file. Here, we can see a list of all contacts linked to this particular client. Search for a specific contact using the search field, or filter the contacts shown on the page. You can select whether the contact is a person or a company, and what category the contact falls under. You can also view a centralized database of contacts for all clients by clicking the main menu, followed by Contacts. To add a contact, click the green Add Contact button. In the Add Contacts form, choose whether the contact is a company or a person, and then add their personal and contact details. If the contact is a person, you can specify the company that they work for from a drop-down list of all existing company contacts. When you specify that a person works for a company, the contact details for the company will automatically show on the person's contact record, saving you from duplicate data entry. Similar to adding a client, you can add multiple addresses, email addresses, and telephone numbers for each contact, and customize the label for each set of details by clicking the grey label box. The client-specific information section allows you to add specific information about the contact's relationship to the client. You can edit or delete a contact by clicking the down arrow next to the View button. You can also export all contacts from a client's file by simply clicking the Export button. Lastly, let's take a look at invoicing. You can generate an invoice for each client directly from Qunote. The fees will be based on the activity recorded within a client's Filenotes. First of all, let's set up the invoice contact for our client. head back to the client summary page and click the green Edit Client button. Scroll down to the case details section and select the name of the funder from the Invoice Contact drop-down field. If the client is self-funded, you can specify this by selecting the Invoice Client Directly option. Now we can click the More tab, followed by Invoices. We can see a section for both drafted and finalised invoices. Click the New Invoice button and select the period that you want to invoice and click Next. You can then select the services that you want to include on the invoice by ticking the relevant boxes. The expenses checkboxes allow you to choose whether to include expenses on the main invoice. Once you're happy with the services and expenses, click the Generate Invoice button. Now we're at the draft invoice stage where you can edit the invoice prior to finalising it. In the invoice details section, you can change the invoice contact, select a different address, or change the default invoice description. Scrolling down, we can see the time and activity section, which is the main content of our invoice. The format, grouping and layout of items will be determined by the invoice layout settings. We can see each invoice line with the title, duration recorded, duration charged, VAT rate, chargeable hourly rate, and net total. You can edit each invoice line title if required and edit the duration of time charged for each line. Any travel and mileage recorded on Filenotes will also be itemised. The Other Fee section allows you to include ad hoc fixed fee items on the invoice, such as report or assessment charges, by clicking the Add Fee button. Any expenses recorded on Filenotes will be shown within this section, itemised onto individual invoice lines. You can also add a note to an invoice from the Invoice Note section, which will be displayed at the bottom of the final invoice, and also leave any notes for internal communication. Once you're satisfied with your invoice, click the Finalise button. A pop-up will display, allowing you to set the invoice date, due date, and invoice number. The system will suggest the next sequential invoice number for you to use. Once generated, the invoice will appear here in the Finalised Invoices section. You can download a version of the invoice by clicking the green Download button. Additional options can be found via the Actions button. You can edit certain invoice details, delete the invoice, download an itemised list of each individual file note onto an Excel spreadsheet, or download all the file notes associated with the invoice. Clicking the status will allow you to select and apply a new status. You can also email the invoice directly to the client from Qunote by clicking the Email button. Attach an export of the invoice notes and an itemised breakdown where required. And that concludes our tour of the main system features of Qunote. Thanks for watching. I hope you found the guide useful. Feel free to leave us any comments with anything you'd find useful, or get in touch with any questions on info@qunote.com.